Fireworks has a built-in animation creation feature. It's an animation symbol, and it's sort of like driven by a wizard. And it really is kind of neat. It's for very simple animations, but it can be quite effective if done properly. So let's take a look at how to create an animation in Fireworks. To get yourself started, open the animate.png file that's located in your exercise folder. And when it opens, you'll see that there's a little shopping cart, which is one of the symbols from the Common Library. And the plan here is to have the shopping cart move across the canvas and then sort of flip up 90 degrees at the end of the animation. So let's get started. To get yourself started, what you do is you click on the symbol, right click, and what we're going to do is convert this to an animation symbol. So we'll convert to symbol, animation. We're going to call this cart_anim so we know what it is. We're not going to save it to the Common Library, and you'll notice that 9-slice scaling guides are gone. That's because there are going to be a number of images or a number of states here, and the 9-slice scaling is for individual graphics. So just click OK, and up comes this little wizard. Now this animation wizard is kind of neat. What it does is it allows you to choose the number of states. Now for those of you that are animation people, states, frames, same thing. So this is going to happen over a number of frames. So let's have this happen over 10 frames. So you put the number 10 in there. The move is the move distance. Now the width of the stage is approximately 700 pixels. So let's move it across the stage. And we'll move it 650 pixels. The direction is going to be across the stage, and you can actually see the direction with this little twirly thing here. We're not going to be scaling it. We're not going to be playing with the opacity, but we are going to rotate it. So change the rotate from 0 to 90. And when it hits the end here, it's going to come this way. So it's going to rotate in a counterclockwise direction. And now that you've done that, click OK. And you may see this error box or this dialog box. And what it's basically saying is, look, this symbol goes beyond the length of the stage. Do you want to add new states? And the answer is absolutely. So you click OK, and you see there's your animation. Now, a couple of things you need to know about what you're looking at here. This blue line shows me the path. This is the path. Now, the one thing you cannot do with animations in Fireworks is put them on a curve. What the dots indicate are each frame of the animation, and this red dot is the end of the animation. Now, if this red dot is sitting outside the stage or the canvas, what you might want to do is pull it in. And the red dot indicates the center of the symbol. So let's pull this in just a little bit. Pull it in right about there. Now, what you're probably going to want to do is test your animation. Does this thing actually move and rotate up? In the main window here, you can see there are some controls right at the bottom. Rewind, play, to end. So if I go to the end, you can see there's the end of the animation. If I go to the first state, there's the first state of the animation. If I want to play the animation, all I have to do is click the play button. And you can see that, yes, indeed, we get our animation. Now, if you come back to the start, you'll notice in the Properties panel, you can actually affect the states that were, or the properties that were inside that dialog box. So if you need to make changes, no big deal. You can do it here. But where do you see the states? Well, the states are found in the Layers and Pages panel. And what you do is you come to States in the window, and you can see your states. There are 10 states right there. And you may want to, slow this thing down by increasing the amount of time it moves. Now, this time for each state is measured in hundredths of a second. So the distance from this point to this point is 7/100ths of a second. That's pretty quick. Why don't we slow that down? And what you do is you just select and then double click on one of the sevens, and you'll get your state delay. And what you can do here is change this. So we'll change this to, let's take it up to 20/100ths of a second. So each space is 1/5 of a second. You click, and if you test the movie or test the animation, I'm just going to move the panel over here so you can see it. It's a little bit slower. Now that's really too slow. So Again, what we can do is stop the animation, rewind it, select all the states, double click, and let's take it down to 10/100ths of a second. Press the enter, they all change to 10. And again, let's try it out. And that's a little bit smoother. Other things that you can do, this little icon here shows me onion skinning, which is right here in the panel. So if I choose state 5 to state 10 and turn off no onion skinning, you can actually see how this thing works. So I can show before and after, I can show all states, and you can see how this thing rotates. And you can change this. You can select custom, and then you can come into the onion skinning and show 4 before the current state, 4 after. You can do multi-state editing, so you can actually select these things and edit them. Just click OK to get rid of it. If you want to stop it from constantly looping and you just want to see one animation, you can choose this here, and this will be baked into the animation. So if you only want the cart to go twice just to grab people's attention, you can do it right here. Now, a couple of things you need to know about working with animations inside of Fireworks. You get to export them in 2 formats. The first format is a GIF animation, which will go into a web page, and you can actually turn the background transparent, so you can have a transparent GIF animation, or you can actually export these things out as SWF animations and use them in Flash.